Hey everybody, Eric Dorward here with the Spartan Rocketry Club, and we are continuing to do the finishing touches on our Quest Terrier-Orion. I'm going to dive right in here. The top part is now done. The silvery part turned out pretty well. There were some irregularities, let's say, with the bottom part, like, I don't know, my tape must have came apart here a little bit and I got some bleed through and a little bit here, but overall, I mean, it's not bad. So we'll go with that. Anyway, I have it oriented here so that it's the same way, since remember I made some minor modifications to the decal regime for the top, or for the bottom, so I'm going to make the same here. I'll rotate this other way. So in any event, I'm going to start applying these, which are definitely water-slide decals, and I am consulting the box art here to make sure that I put them in the right place. Most of these that are going on, at least to start, they are just like big stripes. And that's fine, they're easy enough to apply. What I typically do is I just put my thumb on and then rotate. Yeah, rotate like so. Oh, look at that. That's bad. That's not even close. That's upsetting because that's not me. There's nothing I have done there. This decal is just significantly too short. Well, that's fun. Can't do a thing about that other than like have a good side to this and a not so good side to this. Well, that's very disappointing to see. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Well, we'll just make do, I guess. I'm gonna, I guess, just have the gap all be on, I guess we could call it the back from now on. But for these stripe ones, I'm just gonna kind of brush it flat like this, and then hold my thumb here, and then just continue along. If there are any air bubbles or uneven parts, that should take care of them. And yeah, that's that one. There's supposed to be 4 stripy bits in the silver part. So there's going to be one right at the top, which we've got, and then these double line ones, they're coming next, and they are, I mean, I'm sure we could measure this out, but I'm not really going to bother doing that. What I am going to do, again, since there is probably going to be a gap in this one too, I can't imagine how there wouldn't be, I'm going to start it at as close to the same point as I can, and then just rotate things like so. Now, typically when you do one of these, it's not that hard to get the alignment right because you have the benefit of the beginning lining directly up with the end. Well, we don't have that because this is too short. So I'm just going to have to kind of do my best here and try to eyeball it so that the two line up, which is, again, very frustrating. That's just, let's call a spade here. That is not good kit design. It's kind of, I don't know, borderline reprehensible to make your decals not fit around the body tube. These are all things that are very controllable, and looking at the box art, it does look like they go around the whole way, so I don't know. Alright, this one is going to go closer to the bottom of the silver section, and then I need one after that that's just black, and that is going to cover or be right at the end of the transition, which is kind of nice because if you happen to like have a little bit of trouble getting the transition nice and smooth, like if the masking tape was good but not great, this should cover that up. Okay. Again, I got an eyeball here to make sure that these are aligned, which is annoying. Alright, that looks passable. So I'm going to smooth this out. Just be careful when you're doing this that you don't bump any of the stuff that you've already applied. That's part of the reason I'm going the direction I am, because I'm not as likely to bump it if I go this particular direction. That seems to, there's like a spot here that it just looks like it's bubbling up. I don't know why, but it just appears to be. Alright, the last one, and I do have the slightest imperfection in my line right there, so I'm going to make sure, oh, well, not, because that's in the blank part. So lovely. I guess that's not going to get covered up. Well, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Let's start this. I'm just going to have it go right through the transition. My line's pretty sharp. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's probably easier to manage that way. It's definitely not straight, though, I can tell you that much. The decal alignment, not my line. My line was very straight. Okay. Alright, that seems passable. Again, I'm going to put my thumb here and smooth out any kind of irregularities. There's a little bit of a bubble, but not much of one. Okay. I do have some water here. I'm going to try to mop that up before I continue on to the next bit. Alright. Let's do, I want to let this dry, so I'm going to, and my water is rapidly losing its temperature here. So I'm going to do, let's do the numbers that go on the fins. Remember I did, it should be like this. I have my 1 is going to go on the yellow fin, and the 4 is going to go on the orange fin. Ugh, man, that is... The fact that it doesn't go the whole way around, I can't tell you how displeased I am with that. That is not great. Definitely not great. Yeah, that is not great. Very irritating. Alright, it's probably enough. I'm going to drop the 4 in while I'm thinking about it. And the 1 just goes again in the corner of the fin, like so. We'll just get it on there and then realign it. Too far. If you really do need to realign things, you should be able to do it pretty easily. Just get your fingers wet. My fingers are not particularly wet, at least the one I was using there. I'm going to try to get any of the liquid off, though, because I could see like a big watery thumbprint there, and I sure don't want that. Alright, let's rearrange things here a little bit, and we can get the 4 on. This is just going to go down here, and I can see that my paint coat right there, my orange, is not as thorough as it could have been, which, I know it's too late now. Probably could have used another coat of paint, but honestly, I'm okay with that. My orange paint was not as cooperative as it could have been. It was kind of, the nozzle was quite gunked up, let's just say, so that didn't go so well. Alright, I'm going to need some new hot water pretty soon, so before that happens I want to get 2 more decals on. We'll wrap this video up and then put the remaining ones on, and then we'll do the last second work that needs to be done to finish everything. So this one, according to the decal or instructions, is going to go just about here, just a little bit head of the fins. Now I need a black ring to go around here, so I want it sufficiently far up. We'll say that's pretty good. The other one I'm going to put on the other side. This, at least, it doesn't matter. Remember, the launch lug was a problem on the lower part of this, but the top part doesn't have a launch lug. So the fact that now I don't need to worry about where exactly I'm going to put it. I am going to put it 180 degrees away from that one, but that's easy enough to take care of. Alright, so for the last bit, I have 2 more black stripe lines to do. I have a couple more pieces to put up in the silver part, but that should be pretty much it. Now, this is going to be a little bit harder because I have no reference point and I'm just kind of eyeballing location. So I'm going to take this off. And before it starts to dry, I'm going to spin it around so I can see both, or close to both. And I can see that this is a little bit below. So I'm just kind of like rotating it back and forth so I can see relative location. It's still a little bit low. Alright, that's pretty good. And it looks pretty centered. Maybe the bottom's not quite. That looks good enough. Alright, blot things out. And a couple little stray water droplets, don't need them. Alright, that's good for now. I need to go exchange the water and then be ready to do the last steps. Very exciting. So I'll see you shortly.